The blizzard hit our neighborhood on a Tuesday morning. The kind of storm that transforms suburban streets into Arctic wastelands within hours. I watched from my kitchen window as snow piled up in thick, relentless waves, already planning how I deploy my latest acquisition, a remote-controlled snow-clearing robot I bought after last winter's back injury left me unable to shovel. The machine was beautiful, a sleek, tracked beast with rotating augers that could chew through 2 feet of snow like it was nothing. I'd named it Frost 1, and after spending $3,000 on it, I was eager to put to work. I bundled up, grabbed the remote control, and headed outside. The cold hit me like a wall, but I grinned as I fired up Frost 1. The engine purred to life, and I guided it down my driveway, watching with satisfaction as it launched perfect arcs of snow onto my lawn. Neighbors peeked out their windows, pointing and nodding with approval. That's when I heard her. "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?" Patricia Hornsby materialized through the swirling snow like a wrathful snow queen, her HOA president badge pinned prominently to her puffy white coat. Her face was red, not from the cold, but from indignation. Clearing my driveway, I called back, keeping my tone neutral. I'd lived in this neighborhood for 3 years, and had learned that Patricia thrived on conflict. That thing is not approved. She marched toward me, her boots crunching through the snow. I received no application for motorized snow removal equipment. This is a clear violation of Section 7, Paragraph 4 of the HOA bylaws regarding mechanical devices. I stared at her. "Patricia, it's a snow blower. People use them all the time." "It's a robot," she shrieked, jabbing a gloved finger at Frost 1. "Autonomous machinery requires board approval. This is creating a disturbance, and it's unsightly." "Unsightly? It's clearing snow. I'm confiscating this until the board can review your application." She actually reached for Frost 1. "You can't just take my property," I said, stepping between her and the robot. Her eyes narrowed. "I absolutely can. Section 12, Paragraph 2 grants me authority to remove any item in violation of community standards. You'll get it back after the board meeting. In 3 weeks. 3 weeks? The snow will be melted by then. Should have thought of that before breaking the rules." She pulled out her phone. "I'm calling my husband to bring his trailer." I wanted to argue more, but I knew it was pointless. Patricia had weaponized the HOA bylaws into her personal enforcement system, and fighting her in a moment would only make things worse. I'd learned that the hard way when she'd fine me $200 for having my garbage cans visible from the street on garbage day. 20 minutes later, her husband Frank pulled up with their trailer. He gave me an apologetic shrug as he helped Patricia load Frost 1 onto the flatbed. She stood there with her arms crossed, a triumphant smile on her face. "You can pick it up after the February 28th board meeting," she said. "That's when we'll vote on whether to allow such devices." They drove off, my $3,000 robot disappearing into the storm. I stood in my half-clear driveway, shaking with frustration. Then I remembered something that made me smile. Frost 1 wasn't just a remote-controlled robot. It had a companion app, and I'd never logged out. Back inside, I shook the snow off my coat and pulled out my phone. The app showed Frost 1's location, Patricia's house, 3 streets over. I could see the battery level, 87%, and more importantly, I could still access all the controls. An idea formed, delicious and terrible. I waited until 2 a.m. when the snow had finally stopped and the neighborhood was buried under 18 inches of fresh powder. I opened the app and saw that Frost 1 was in Patricia's garage. Someone, probably Frank, had been smart enough to plug it in, so the battery showed 100%. I activated the garage door sensor override, a feature the manufacturer included for emergency situations. Frost One's powerful motors could force open most standard garage doors from the inside. I heard a faint rumbling through my window, 3 streets away. The app's camera feed showed Patricia's garage door rising. Frost One rolled out into the pristine snow of her driveway. Now came the artistic part. Instead of clearing snow away, I set the augers in reverse and put Frost One into a careful pattern. I drove it in circles around Patricia's front entrance, gathering snow from her yard, her driveway, and her sidewalk. The robot was designed to throw snow up to 40 feet, and I used every bit of that range. For the next hour, I orchestrated a symphony of snow redistribution. Frost One grabbed powder from everywhere and launched it at one specific target, Patricia's front door. I watched the camera as a mountain grew, piling higher and higher against her entrance. The app showed me the accumulation in real time. 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. I built her a wall of snow so tall and so perfectly packed that her door would be completely sealed. Not just blocked, entombed. The pile extended 6 feet out from her porch and rose nearly to the second-story windows. When I was satisfied with my work, I drove Frost One back into her garage, closed the door, and put it back on the charger. Then I deleted the app's activity log. To anyone checking, it would look like the robot never moved. I went to bed and slept like a baby. The next morning, I was sipping coffee when my phone exploded with notifications from a neighborhood group chat. Did anyone else see Patricia's house? OMG, the snow is insane. How did it pile up only at her door? It was like an avalanche hit just that one spot. I looked out my window and saw people walking over Patricia Street, taking pictures. I couldn't resist. I put on my coat and joined them. Patricia's house looked like something from a cartoon. While every other home had normal snow accumulation, hers had a massive drift pressed against the entire front of her house, completely sealing the door and first-floor windows. It was perfect. Patricia herself was visible through a second-story window, screaming into her phone, her face purple with rage. Frank was in the driveway with a shovel, looking at the mountain of snow with defeated eyes. It would take him hours, maybe days, to clear it. Wow! I said to my neighbor Tom, who was filming on his phone, "That's crazy. Must have been the wind patterns or something." Or something, Tom said with a knowing grin. He'd been on the receiving end of Patricia's HOA tyranny, too. My phone buzzed. A text from Frank. "I know it was you. Patricia's demanding I file a police report." I texted back. "What was me? I've been inside all night. Though I hope you got my robot inside before the storm damaged it." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Then, "You're my hero, but she's going to figure this out." "Let her try," I replied. The board meeting 3 weeks later was legendary. Patricia stood before the community, her voice hoarse from yelling, insisting that I'd somehow use my confiscated robot to attack her home. But she had no proof. The activity logs were clear. The robot never left her garage. The board, tired of Patricia's increasingly unhinged accusations, voted unanimously to allow snow-clearing robots. They also voted to return my property immediately. Patricia resigned as HOA president the next day. I got Frost One back that afternoon. As I unloaded from Frank's trailer, he handed me a card.